Hey guys, it's Vicky. Tonight for dinner, I am making Dawn's homemade meatloaf. Who is Dawn? I have no idea. It's out of this cookbook that my mom had gotten me years ago. If you have it, it is on page 68. There's a picture of it. I want to snap it. It is Dawn's homemade meatloaf. Now, if you're like me, often I'm trying to find a way to make something that we eat better or different. This meatloaf, I'm like old, right? This meatloaf is the best meatloaf I've ever had. We're going to start with 1.5 pounds of ground beef. All right, to the ground beef, we're going to add 1 onion, diced. It's been a long time, my friend. Diced onion into the ground beef. 1 beaten egg. So far, this is all sounding pretty normal, right? I'm going to add an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I kind of go slow, right? Because you go too much liquid and you don't need it all. You can't remove it. To this, we're going to add 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Dawn does say to use soft breadcrumbs. I don't have them. And when I've made this before, like I didn't use like fresh red crumbs. All right. Again, this you cannot remove once you've put in. So I kind of let those sit to the side. Who am I talking to down here? I'm so sorry. And then to this, we're going to add some salt and pepper. Do that to your taste. It's about a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. But I like pepper. We're going to mix it and then just, combine it up real well. Work the egg in, work the breadcrumbs and the onion in. Add the rest of my breadcrumbs. Going to add a little bit more tomato sauce. I don't know if you guys put tomato sauce in your meatloaf. I never have, but I think it is one of the keys to why this is so good. All right, so far this is Dawn's homemade meatloaf. I am not Dawn. A meatloaf pan. Now, Dawn was fancy, and she made 8 mini meatloafs. I mean, if you want to make 8 mini meatloafs, maybe you live with the 7 dwarves. I don't know. You can make your 8 meatloafs. But we just make 1. So we're going to pack this in here. Now, because Dawn's were 8 mini meatloafs, maybe that's why hers only took 40 minutes. I have never in my life been successful at cooking a meatloaf in under an hour at 400. Maybe my stove's wonky. Maybe it's the altitude. I don't know. But what I'm going to tell you about your meatloaf is you take it out when your meat thermometer reaches temperature. That's when you take her out. But for me, that's usually about an hour. Sometimes a little bit longer on a big meatloaf. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put it into the oven. It's a nice looking meatloaf. The tomato sauce makes it smell so good. I know that was just weird. We're going to bake this. Okay. Again, Dawn says to bake it uncovered. I cover mine. And I'm going to bake it for 30 minutes covered with tin foil. I'm going to take it out and we're going to make the glaze that I think is also the key to why this meatloaf is so good. Again, you guys can be in your house and say, well, I love my meatloaf. It's great. So is my other meatloafs that I have. But this one is different and it's so, so good. We'll be back in 30 minutes to take it out and... It's like I'm under the water. We'll be back in 30 minutes to take it out of the oven and make the glaze. See? Okay, we're back. We're going to make the sauce that goes on the top. You're going to use your other 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. And to that, you're going to add, she says dark brown sugar. I don't have that. So I've used the light before. 1/4 cup in there. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire. It is my absolute favorite. So usually a little extra spills in. Who doesn't love this stuff? Right? It's just good. I always grew up where my mom would put like ketchup on the meatloaf. So, I mean, maybe you grew up eating your meatloaf like this with the cans of tomato sauce. If you did, you had a very lucky childhood. I didn't, and this is so good. So if you've never tried meatloaf this way, please do. You won't be disappointed. All right, here we are, hot out of the oven. It looks and smells delicious. I'm going to let it sit for maybe 15 minutes, and then we will cut it up and get it on the plate with some mashed potatoes, and then we'll be back for the taste test, which, excuse that, which I already know is great because we've had it before. But let's let it sit for a few minutes. All right, we're back, and it is time for dinner. This is Dawn's homemade meatloaf. Has a nice crust on the bottom. Let's give it a taste. It is amazing, though, because I've had it before. Bon appetit. It's so good. The tomato sauce makes all the difference. So again, if you have been having your meatloaf with tomato sauce in it your whole life, you're lucky. If not, try this recipe. 100% give this meatloaf recipe a try. You will not be sorry. And this is the recipe. Hopefully that's in view. I'll also put it down below in the description. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I am out of here to eat dinner. So peace out. Have a great day, night, wherever you're watching from. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.